Hello and welcome to another Chelsea chat. I didn't do one for the Servette or Servette game because I couldn't see the point. They'd started training 6 weeks before us. They'd had 4 more competitive games than us, so they were always going to be fitter. They were going to be at it, but I always thought that our quality would shine through. And Kunku penalty early on, which he got brought over. He took it himself, and Madueke getting the second goal. They could have scored 2 or 3 themselves, and we could have scored 2 or 3 more. Pretty even Stevens, but our quality showed. I couldn't see the point because of the advantages that they had, and the fact that we changed the team so much. I couldn't see the point whether we won, lost, or drew. I couldn't see that we get that much information out of it. He's getting these players used to playing in his formation, in his own likeness, if you like, and it takes time. So I thought, why bother? So today, though, talk about a game of two halves. Today, it was Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 6. We started off with Robert Sanchez in goal, a back four of Cucurella, Colwill, Fofana and Gusto on the right. In front of those two we had Enzo on the left and Caicedo on the right, and in front of those we had Cole Palmer playing where I like to see him, right down the middle, Madueke on the right, Mudryk on the left and Jackson up front. And as I say, it's a game of two halves. I sat there, in fact I'll read you my notes, right, at half time. My notes said, Caicedo having a stinker. Defenders don't know where they're supposed to be in different phases. Both offensively and defensively, they're all over the show. Nicholas Jackson scored after 2 minutes, and I thought, well, this is good. It was from a corner, to be fair. And we played some nice stuff. There's a real chemistry going forward, particularly between Cole Palmer and Madueke. But at the back, we're 6 and 7s. Basic marking isn't being done because we're trying to play out all the time, and Wolves were really pressing. We found that really difficult in the first half, and so it went in 2-2. We weren't playing particularly well. We weren't playing particularly badly, however. It was an okay performance. Caicedo was having a stinker, though. The amount of times he gave it away and lost it in possession. In fact, getting beat in possession. I can think of Mudryk, Fernandes, Caicedo 4 or 5 times. Gusto, who was having a decent game, the one time aside. It was just 6s and 7s. Don't know what he said to them at half time. I really don't. But we became a lot more clinical. I think we pushed up about 10 yards. Wolves really played into our hands because they didn't have a low block. They didn't sit there. They come out and thought, right, we'll take these on and we'll see how we come. So it's not going to be like that against the top sides. But you know what? You can only beat what's in front of you, and you can only overcome the challenges that they set you. What a scintillating performance. Some of the one-touch stuff was amazing. Start of the second half, we swapped Neto for Mudryk. Mudryk had, like always, flashes of brilliance. And I'll tell you what he did and what Maresca is actually impressing me, actually, with his attitude. If he is a yes man, he's a great actor. And you'd be a yes man from the point of view of allowing Clown Lake to dictate his staff. But I think he pretty well rules with an iron rod on that pitch, which is good, I think, particularly with the sort of players we get today. You know, they get dropped, you get a stiff letter from their representatives. But no, I think he's going to get the best out of these, hopefully the best out of Mudryk. And the substitution at half time, that made a big difference. Neto was always threatening down that left and more direct, whereas Mudryk hadn't been, had he? He tends to go inside. Very rarely takes them on the outside. So in the 68th minute, they took Jackson off. He'd done a shift. He'd got his goal. some nice touches, some nice hold-up play. He was okay today. The 76th minute, Caicedo was injured, so Dewsbury Hall came on. I'm not going to judge that lad yet. I've got my early opinions, but I'm not going to judge him. 83rd minute, Nkunku came on for Palmer, who'd already done the damage, 3 assists, and Vega come on for Cucurella, and Vega looks good, although Cucurella was top draw today. Even in the first half, I thought he played well. So our scorers were Jackson after 2 minutes, and then Cole Palmer scored in the 45th minute, I think it was, and they still had time to get a goal before the first half ended. The second half, we had the Madueke 14-minute hat-trick, and he was unplayable today. He really was. He is my Chelsea man of the match. Just edges Cole Palmer, but there were some good performances out there, particularly in that second half. And then that Cole Palmer finish, by the way, he hits it over the keeper first time. Absolutely marvellous technique. And talking of marvellous technique, Felix, who was making his second debut, scored a beauty, put it away lovely, kept his head over the ball, just swept it into the net. Lovely, lovely finish. After some great play, but I think it was Neto and maybe Fernandez. So, that's about it, folks. Happy days. Lots of good performances. I'll go and I'll score them and I'll talk a little bit about them. Robert Sanchez scares me to death when he lets them get so close, but none of the goals today were down to him. He gets a 6. Cucurella gets an 8. Always biting at them. He's got to tell you what, he's got to stop. Same with Enzo, putting their arms around people in the box. If you get Anthony Taylor or someone, that's a penalty straight away. But that aside, he was really, really good. Colwill gave the ball away a couple of times, but one great block that I can remember where he dived in front of someone who was shooting and it hit the bar and went over. Colwill gets a 7. Fofana gets a 7. Lost it a couple of times, but that's because he was going forward. There was a foul on him. Shouldn't have sent it off. The guy had a yellow card already. How they kept 11 players on that pitch, I'll never know. It's another case of the referee being biased against the big club, I think. Caicedo's a tricky one. On my notes there, at half time, he was on 3. Second half, I thought he really recovered. Caicedo's going to get a 5.5 because I thought he was really decent in the second half, and I hope he's not too badly injured. Mudryk gets a 4.5. Do you know, the lad put the effort in today, and I say he got his defending going. Everyone defended. When we lost the ball, everyone got back. Even real lazy players like Madueke, he was just back everywhere. Fernandez, everywhere. And looking up, he got caught out a couple of times, like I said before. But no, really, they all put in a real good shift. So yeah, Fernandez is going to get an 8 from me. I thought he had a really good game today. Yes, he lost it a couple of times. But if you want to receive the ball all the time and you're going to do damage and you're going to get back and block, which he did today, like a different player, you're going to give it away sometimes. Palmer is going to get a 9. Absolutely superb. Great finish. Always on the move. Always willing to receive the ball. And 3 assists. Sensational, really. Madueke today gets a 9.5 and the Chelsea Man of the Match award from me. I've been a critic of his in the past, but like I always say, love it when they shove it up you. And we win 6-2. So yeah, his finishing was excellent today. Top performance. Jackson gets a 7. Hard working, got a goal. Frustrating at times. Sometimes there was one point there where he ran on the outside and the player managed to get his body in. And I thought to myself, why'd you not go on the inside of him? Because if you push it by him, chances are it's going to be a penalty. Frustrating at times, makes the wrong decisions, but yeah, 7. I don't score these substitutes, but Yao Felix, beautiful goal. So I'm going to score Maresca. Maresca today, in that first half, was getting a 5 from me. I've got on there, we look disorganised and can't defend for toffees. Not a classic statement, but that was my notes. Second half, didn't he turn it round? So for that reason, Maresca gets a 7 from me. And I think we're on the right track. I'm not gonna get overly excited over one game. I've seen people today on the internet. There are actually people out there that are absolutely crackers, aren't there? Proper mad at us. We won today, so that's it. We're gonna probably conquer Europe according to them. One bloke even reckon we're going to win the Champions League, which I find really difficult to believe because we're not in it. But yeah, you got all that sort of rubbish. I don't get too despondent when we get beat because we're learning this system. And the big thing is for the defenders, when you're playing inverted fullbacks and that type of thing, it's when to invert, having that speed of thought. It's got to become second nature. So it'll take a good few games, I think, until we actually see the best. Crikey, today we're going to play against top teams who won't give us as much space, and we're also going to play against low block teams. It'll be interesting to see how we deal with them now. I think it's just play it along the back and make them come out from what I've seen so far, but we've not really played against the Nottingham Forests of this world yet. Okay, folks, let me know what you think. I'm really chuffed, really pleased, and let's hope it's not another false dawn. Thanks for watching Chelsea Chat. Please subscribe to the channel and throw the video a like. It helps me algorithm, and we all want to help Glenn's algorithm now, don't we? Okay, thanks for watching. Up to Chelsea.